Peace, peace, y'all. Welcome to today's Mathematics with your girl, Sunshine Monet L. Today is 8/13/8. You already know we in the month and year of 8. This is the month and year of transformations, death and rebirth, building and destruction, right? Solar plexus chakra, the enforcement of our celestial law. We are the celestial enforcers in this space and time, focusing on our solar plexus chakra, right? This is a space of power, empowerment, confidence, courageousness, learning how to have self-control without needing to control things outside of ourselves. Ashe. Scorpius energy also rules over the fifth sphere in the tree of life, and then the eighth sphere in the tree of life is ruled by Sebek, which is Mercury, which is the celestial technician energy. When we're dealing with the number 8, we're also dealing with occultism and the rise and fall of empires, while Pluto is sitting in Aquarius and in Capricorn energy, which rules over 3, our understanding in that Capricorn Saturn vibe, and 1, our Keters with that Aquarius energy, showing us that we are rooted upward in the cosmos as well as down in our physical reality. Ashe, ashe. So what do we have between these 8s of high highs and low lows, where the goal is to be the homeostasis in the middle? We have 1 and 3, which is a karmic debt number today. We have learning how to express what we know, learning how to, act on our intellect, right? We're having that, it's a karmic debt number because it's very difficult for people to act on what they know. A lot of us know a lot of things, but we don't really act on it. We don't really create that into our reality. A lot of y'all know a lot of things about corporations, about money, about economics and capitalism, about how the government really works and all these things, but none of you guys really act on the things that you know because you move in that space of fear. 3 is that number of understanding. That is that Saturn sphere. You know what I'm saying? That's that Bina that you have on your shoulder. What chips do you have on your shoulder that's making you move in a space where you are not understanding that Keter? You are not standing under that Keter. Who is your authority here? And how are you expressing and acting on it? 1 is also that Aries energy, while 3 can be that Gemini vibe of, really acting on what you know, being the motivator and the leader and having that confidence and courageousness when you're amongst your community. That's a karmic number because that's the biggest lesson that we have here, for real, for real. Y'all are so smart and so intellectual in y'all areas that you guys have as your gifts that you were brought down here to express. But how are you expressing them? Are you even allowing yourself to express them? Or have you put so many other people, places, things, and situations and ideas outside of you into your space of understanding? You're standing under it, into your space of your solar plexus chakra, into your root chakra of being your authority and your infrastructure, that you no longer feel like you can or you have the liberty or authority or freedom to even express what you know and create a life with the things that you know. It matters. Because that 1 and 3 come together and make 4, and that's the foundation of all things, right? We love our squares. This is what we bring into fruition. This is what we materialize into our space. Be mindful of that. 4 is the womb, the Cancer house of nurturing and nourishing. So what are you nurturing? What are you nourishing in your space of intellect and action? Think about that deeply on all facets of self. So we're going to take that 4 and we're going to put it into the month of 8 of building and destruction because you done thought about it deeply. You done thought about what it is that you want to nurture in your space, that you know. How you want to enforce these things, what you want to create with them, what kind of foundation, what kind of community you want to attract. How you want to spend your daily routine. And it brings us to knowledge and wisdom, which always brings us to a sense of understanding. It brings us right back to that space of authority. Right back to that space of what you stand under. Who's controlling your infrastructure? Who controls the roots that's in the cosmos and the roots that's in your physical self? So we come into that understanding and we bring that to the year of 8. This is the year of the wood dragon, right? Being that homeostasis in the middle is where your riches come from. Give yourself grace, but also be diligent and persistent and consistent without overworking yourself. Just be in the middle. And you get to enjoy the experience. You get to say, hey, the destination ain't really here for real. This is the journey. And if you don't really enjoy what it is that you stand under, what good is it? So when we take that 3 of understanding and we put it in our solar plexus chakra of enforcement, what does that do? It brings you to my favorite number. that number of self-mastery. Master yourself. Master yourself so much and pour into your cup so much that you pull that Ace of Cups and it pours and it flows and it overflows and it becomes an inspiration, aspiration into other people. You are so abundant and you are so infinite. You know you're powerful. You know what your power is. But you need the confidence and the courageousness to express it. And it starts with that 13. Go ahead and heal that 13 so you can come to this 11. 11 can also bring you into 2, which is your interpersonal relationships. You'll see some go away and you'll see some be in better formation, in alignment with what you want versus what you settle for. Bonds and contracts are also in alignment here too. Think about all the bonds and contracts you from the birth certificate to the social security card to the ID and the driver's license and the license plates and the employment paperwork and the IRS forms and signing contracts, sending your kids to school. Some of y'all, your kids' contracts, they don't feel this 13 that you've enforced them into. Learn the history, learn the understanding of that infrastructure of those entities that you are standing under. Y'all know all these things already, though. I'm not teaching you nothing. But when are you going to express your knowledge in these things to make a different life? You're just going to keep passing that trauma and drama down to your children, to your grandchildren. This is what I went through, so you should go through this too. Well, my ancestors went through slavery. I don't think they want enslavement for me. Let's talk about what's astronomically going on. We start the day off at a 56% waxing gibbous moon. We are in that moon of creation. This is the moon of creation, creating tangible things in our space. Moon rising at 3:09 p.m. and there's no set time for setting. We are in Scorpio with the tropicals. The Scorpio is external side of the solar plexus chakra. That is that one. Scorpius brings that manipulation. That's the double eights, the transformation, the building and the destruction, the empowerment, right? Then we are in Scorpius sidereal and we're still in Libra constellation. So finding balance in the happenings. We are in the 7th house with it. So still finding the balance and providing transformation in those balances. Because the thing with Libra, the thing with 7 is what's going on inside of your heart that should be expressed on the outside and not the other way around. The world on the outside of you should not be under here. It should not be in your understanding. It should not be the chip on your shoulder. You have the power to create. You are the owner of the 13. The 13 is not the owner of you. Sunrise at 6:09 a.m., sunset at 7:58 p.m. Perseus reach maximum activity. They move at 100 an hour, so it'll be very easy to see some shooting stars tonight in the Pisces constellation. Very exciting. Perseus constellation. My apologies. The moon and Grapheus are in conjunction at 12:44 p.m. The moon is 5.7 degrees south. Minimal angle at 10:19 a.m. The moon is 5.4 degrees south-southwest. Observe at 8:49 p.m. with a 7.8 degrees south-southeast separation. Grapheus is a star in the Scorpius constellation, giving us the energy of Saturn and Mars, that understanding and that enforcement of the celestial technicians. Okay, you're enforcing what you stand under. The moon in Dashuba gives us the same energy, and that conjunction occurred this morning at 10:45 a.m. The moon was 2.5 degrees south, and then we get into the Mars and Jupiter of moon in Aries, now giving us that optimism and expansion, after conquering those challenges in our space. This conjunction occurred this morning at 2 a.m. The moon was 0.7 degrees south. Minimal angle at 1:53 a.m. The moon was 0.7 degrees south. Observe at 11:43 p.m. with a 1.2 degrees southwest separation. Venus enters Draconic Virgo at 7 p.m. All right, so our soul is having that space of servitude, working on our moral and integral code and our priorities, our sense of self-love, love for others. Vesta enters Leo constellation at 11:45 a.m. Being more passionate about being confident and courageous and tapping into your Tippereth. Global cluster M15 and Pegasus constellation reaches the highest point at midnight. So that's what I got for you today in the cosmos. We got some busy transits going on, giving you the confidence and courageousness to really express what it is that you're passionate about. Stand under your own authority and stop allowing people to tell you what authority to stand under, because you are the controller. You are the creator of your reality. Allow yourself to have that power and move in it. Ashe.